Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube sign off and imitation. Never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we're gonna go over Raw this week. It is the last Raw in the ThunderDome. Yeah, this being the last Raw in the ThunderDome, man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna kind of miss doing the Vince growl at the beginning. It was fun. It was fun. The Performance Center era, I hate using the term era, but I have no other way to really describe it. The time in the Performance Center was out of necessity. ThunderDome was necessity, but in a means of, okay, this is necessity, but how are we still going to be able to have our fans interact in some kind of aspect? So, yeah. And now we're finally returning to crowds. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Now, before we do, and I hate to hit this sour note, but news broke earlier today, as of the day of this recording. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff passed away. It's really sad. It's sad to hear because, you know, I grew up watching a lot of his stuff. You know, I grew up watching a lot of the classics. I seen his stuff. You know, I say this all the time. Anytime I ever hear about a legend passing, I really like them. I did. I liked all of them. You know, I loved watching all of it. And it's sad to hear that Paul Orndorff passed. I still to this day, hands down, absolutely loved his main event tag match at Mania 1. Yeah. Now, it's going to be really hard to transition, but we're going to try. So, we're going to switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind, and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. It was the last one in the ThunderDome as well, and Roman came out with Jimmy talking about on how he's trying to deal with Edge. You know, he's got up in his business, but he did what he did. He put the piece of chair in his mouth and then cross-faced him and all that, and Roman's like, it's alright, man. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Because, you know, being the tribal chief, being the head of the table, being the man I am, I was able to do what you couldn't. And then he brings out Jay. So, Jimmy, Jay, Roman, the band is back together. The trio's back. Hallelujah, sing to the choir, we're all united. Fast forward, at one point, Edge says he's going to go and call Roman's punk card. He goes to call him out. He does. Then the Usos come out and Roman's like, what the fuck you guys doing here? And then we proceed to a big brouhaha brawl, which then brings the return of the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic. And they come out, they beat the crap out of the Usos. Roman beats the crap out of Roman. Or Edge beats the crap out of Roman. Yeah, Roman beats the crap out of Roman. Fuck! Edge beats the crap out of Roman. And then, once Roman gets out of there, Edge, Rey, and Dominic all proceed to do a 3-on-2 beatdown on the Usos while Roman's at the head of the entry ramp watching. And yeah. So, other big highlights from SmackDown. It was also officially announced Bayley injured herself in the midst of weight training, so she's going to be out for 9 months. So, in Bayley's place, instead of there being a title match at Money in the Bank, it's now going to be on this coming Friday, which is the first SmackDown and first WWE television show with an audience. It's going to be Bianca defending her title against Carmella, and Liv Morgan has now been put into Carmella's spot. with one last spot remaining. It should be announced this coming Friday. Who could it be? Also, big thing that did happen on SmackDown. We got 2 new debuts for the women's roster. We got Natalya and Tamina issued an open challenge, and we got Shotzi and Tegan Knox. Oh my fucking god, I needed my heart pills right then and there. The second that they came out, oh man, yeah. I can already feel get a slap in the back of the head for that, but yeah. I would say worth it, but I'm afraid it'd go from a slap to the back of the head to a punch. But yeah, either way, Shotzi and Tegan debuted. They won against Natalya and Tamina, which was really cool. Also, they wound up putting up a teaser saying Toni Storm's going to be debuting on SmackDown soon, which is way cool. Other big highlights from SmackDown: Corbin and Nakamura had a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Nakamura won. Corbin is looking more beat down and disheveled by the minute. I'm not going to lie. I had zero interest in the guy. Zero. From the moment I saw him in NXT up until now, zero interest in him. Now seeing him beat down, broken, a former shell of himself, I'm starting to pick up a bit of interest and not sympathy, but yeah, that's all of us. Get used to it. Kind of thing. Also, Seth wound up having a Money in the Bank qualifying match with Cesaro. Seth Rollins won, so Seth is in the Money in the Bank, so yeah. So the men's Money in the Bank slots are all officially filled. And yeah. So now with that said, now that we're done, let's get into this week's show. Raw, it started out showing a rewind from last week. We're not going to do that. We already do a rewind segment on this show. So there was no opening promos, no opening chit chat, whatever. After that little video from last week, they then cut to Woods and Kofi coming down. First match of the night. Xavier Woods going against the almighty Bobby Lashley. Bobby just straight up was destroying Woods from stem to stern. Woods had an uphill. Woods, man, I fucking loved his little uphill comeback. It was every 3 moves and not saying it's literal, but just basically as an explanation, it was like for every 3 moves Woods was trying to do to get a comeback, Lashley was just like, wham, slamming him down. Woods then getting back up, 1, 2, 3, wham, knocked back down again. So yeah, it was interesting. Match came to an end though with Woods doing a fucking inside cradle after getting hit with Lashley's spear, and just fuck! An inside cradle. Rip. I fucking hate roll-up finishes. Next up, we got Fatal 4-Way Women's action. Nick now officially going as Nikki A.S.H. And Asuka. Whew, more heart pills are going to be needed. Naomi and Little Miss Alexa Bliss coming out with the cute, creepy, kind of scared, but also kind of have a bit of a boner at the same time. Not quite sure on how to interpret that character. Yeah, coming out like that. And there was a lot of good, solid action. At one point, Eva Marie and Doudrop came out to just scout everything going on, which tied into earlier with Doudrop and Eva being on Alexa's playground, and Eva like, ugh, I'm better than this, I'm out of here. And then at one point, Bliss starts going and walking up to Eva, and then Eva literally, I'm quoting verbatim, takes her shoe off and says, "This is designer, don't make me use this." I fucking lost it and was laughing. You know, yes, she knows she's not liked. She knows the fans don't love her. But she's fucking rolling with it, doing this kind of shit, and I fucking love it. Anyways, Bliss winds up scaring the shit out of her, which then leads to Doudrop picking her up, throwing her over the barricade, and then them looking over like, "Where's Alexa? She was right here. Where is she?" And then, yeah. So she's officially disappeared for the rest of the match, which now turns this fatal four-way into a triple threat. And all the girls wound up working really damn good after that. They all had their moments to shine. Naomi wound up actually knocking both girls down and then did a split leg. Then did like a split leg pin on them both. Thankfully, they were both laying on their backs. I hope y'all get the reference. You know what I'm talking about. Match came to an end, though, with Nikki getting the win, doing an Okada roll on Asuka, and just, again, a fucking roll-up finish. We just got one, and now we're getting another. Everyone's big gripe on the internet is Monday Night Raw is really just Monday Night replays. You know, they show the same stuff over and over. They do the same stuff over and over. Okay, I'm annoyed with the replays. I can work with rematches to an extent. But what drives me up the fucking wall is so many fucking roll-up finishes. Fuck. So yeah, next matchup we got Uncle Alan AJ Styles going against Ivar. And one thing I gotta say, AJ keeps on referring to them as smelly Viking barbarians and all, but, I learned this stuff in history class in high school. Contrary to popular belief, for that era the Vikings were in, they were considerably very more hygienic than a majority of Europe, because they bathed at least once a week, which in those times would have been like the equivalent of taking one every day. Not only that, they were known for combing their hairs and beards consistently, as well as bleaching them almost on an almost monthly to bi-monthly basis to help ensure that there was no lice or fleas in their hair. And now, boys and girls, that is my legally obligated once a year educational moment for this show. Thank you, I'm done. Somebody cut me a check. Where's my... No? I'm still not getting paid to do them? Fuck. Anyways, back to AJ and Ivar. This I dug because the second I heard that this match was going to happen, boom, I instantly got a flashback to when AJ had a match against him in Ring of Honor. I think that was somewhere between 2013 and 2016. Somewhere within that time frame. I can't remember the exact year. I remember the match. But yeah. This is a damn good match. I liked it. Ivar, he was leading. It was damn good. It was AJ trying to weaken the knee, trying to soften it up so he could put the calf killer in. Ivar, it was a lot of good back and forth. These two guys got good chemistry. Match came to an end when AJ was running to him, and then Ivar hit him with that. He was in the corner, he popped his knees up and then slammed him down, almost doing that sit down, like knee drop, Meteora looking type maneuver. I'm not quite sure on how to describe it except that. That's the best I could describe it. He got the 1, 2, 3, and then after that we got Omos against Erik, which, if we rewind back to the Viking Prophets gimmick, and remember when the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits teamed up to go against Akira Tozawa's Ninja Clan? Yeah, that sentence would only make sense in pro wrestling. You remember the one really tall ninja that Erik always wanted to keep on going after, but everyone told him, no, you can't. Well, he finally got his wish, and now he finally got to go against the big ninja. So yeah, Omos just straight up, he whooped him something stupid, was powering him nonstop, which is, you know, honestly, it's a bit of a role reversal because as far as with the Raiders go, you know, one of the things that I always loved about them was on how much of a contradiction they are. As big as Ivar is, he's the flyer. And Erik, he's the powerhouse. But these guys, Erik just was getting handled. He got dismantled. He got beat the shit out of, and at the end, Omos had him by the throat, hoisted him up, and then bam, dropped him down like that. Both hands, 1, 2, 3. That was it. So yeah, next matchup we got Sheamus going against Humberto Carrillo, which technically I'm not even sure if you could consider this a match because earlier they showed Sheamus arguing with Pierce and Sonya, saying, I shouldn't have to do this. Defend my title against this guy of all people. This guy is the one who broke my nose and put me on the shelf, and now you're telling me I'm being forced to defend this title against that very same man. Listen, this is WWE, man. This is action. It happens. You can either do the job and go out there and defend your title, or you could be stripped of it. Which would you prefer? Okay. Alright, I get it. I'll see him. So, yeah, then Jimmy winds up proceeding to go and attack Humberto in the back beforehand. And then Humberto goes and does the normal, no, I have to go, I'm beat up. I know I'm beat up, but I still have to fight him type bit. So he goes out. Sheamus, boom, pops him with a brogue right off bat. 1, 2, 3, that's it. After that, Sheamus then proceeds to beat the snot out of him. Threatens to go and smash his nose in just like he did to him. And just as he's about to, he's saved by Damian Priest, which I am all frickin' for the idea of Damian Priest versus Sheamus. You know, they're both two big guys. They both know how to work. They're both good athletic. So, yeah, all for it. Next matchup we got Johnny Nitro Morrison Mundo Impact Esquire going against Ricochet in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and this was a damn interesting match. It was pretty good. It was good. You know, Morrison, he was leading the pace. Ricochet wound up taking out Morrison leading into the break. Post break, both guys were really taking it to each other, and they actually wound up brawling over in the gorilla, and the way the camera cut, like intentionally not going in over to look over at the panel at the side, I couldn't help but figure, you know that's Vince had to yell at the production crew like, God damn it, I don't want them to show my face. I don't want to be on TV, pal. Oh, God. Nobody wants to see me. Let them watch those two. They're the ones that the people are fucking here for. But then they eventually come back down to the ring. Miz still using the squirt gun drip stick. Boy, if that's not a hint to beg for Blue Chew to have you as a sponsor. You know? Then Riddle shows up out of nowhere, surprises Miz, actually grabs his chair, and then flips him down to where Miz is then stuck in the wheelchair, looking like a turtle on its shell, like, which is hilarious when you look at it because, you know, and I say this all the time, I fucking love, you know, Miz, he was a ball bag, yes. But my God, ever since he cut that promo on Bryan on Talking Smack all them years ago, he stepped his fucking game up. Yeah, he stepped his fucking game up. He got his shit together. And this is fucking gold right here. Especially with what he's doing with Morrison, because them two are joined at the fucking brain, are on the same fucking brainwaves. Now, match came to an end. There was a ladder propped between, sitting between the ring and the announce table. Morrison got laid on top of it. Ricochet then proceeded to jump from top of the turnbuckle onto the ladder. Which basically then made the ladder bend in half. Morrison then took the damage. Ricochet crawling over from it. Drapes his arm over. 1, 2, 3. Your winner is Ricochet. And my first thought, why are you doing a ladder spot when you got a ladder match coming up in a week? Or not in a week, in less than a week. Yeah. Especially when you know you got a high fly, 2 high flyers that are going to be bouncing around like ping pong balls, doing shit off of them. So now we come to main event of the night. Not this final segment, we'll get to that after the match, but main event match. Rhea Ripley going against Natalya, and whoever decided it was a good idea to let Natalya have a microphone and speak really needs to get punched in the head like a cheap hooker. Because while she can cut a good promo, her tone and her demeanor absolutely fucking kills it. It ruins it. It sucks the air out of it because, honest to God, she's so monotone. She's so monotone you could be confused. Not quite sure if I'm listening to a Bella Twins promo or hearing an old 90s phone sex lady on speaking. Just ugh. Natty cut a promo saying on how she wants to be the first Raw, SmackDown, and Women's Tag Champ, which I just thought, yeah, about that. You know, Bayley's the first Grand Slam champ, right? So, she kinda beat you to it. So did Sasha, and Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. I'm just saying. Nobody tell her though, otherwise she'll do that. Otherwise she'll wind up taking a page out of Brett's book and then blame everyone else for it. But either way, as far as the match goes, wow. There was not the opening sequence, but the beginning of the match. There was a lot of movement back and forth trying to make for pin attempts on each other. And it wasn't like, oh, roll up and then roll up and then roll up and then roll up. No, it was, I'm going for a crucifix while I'm countering your crucifix into this pin. Well, okay. And then we tussle a little and then I'm going to go for this kind of pin while I'm going to reverse it into this. Trying to show, hey, I'm just as good as you, if not better, bitch. Trying to want one of those kind. There was a lot of solid action after that part, and then the action started to pick up. It got really good. I dug the shit out of it. Rhea got the win doing the Riptide. After the match, though, Charlotte came out, hit a chop block, took Rhea down, then proceeded to do a figure 4 with draping down onto the ring apron, putting more pressure onto Rhea's knee. And then Charlotte got interviewed in the back about her actions, saying, well, she wants to say she learned on how to play this game. I learned on how to play this game from the dirtiest player of the game. So, what's that tell you? And all the people in Texas, they're going to see me become the new Raw Women's Champion. Yeah. So now we come to the closing segment of the night. Earlier in the show, after Woods' shocking win, it was then told that Bobby Lashley left the ThunderDome to go blow off some steam. He's back. MVP does the VIP lounge. He's got the couches, the champagne, the women. And then he introduces, ladies and gentlemen, the almighty Bobby Lashley. The almighty Bobby Lashley. Bobby, come on now. Ladies, how about you give me a little bit of help here? When I say his name, you put some umph in it. The almighty Bobby Lashley. And then out comes Bobby, tie undone, looking like a Wall Street broker just lost a $52 million deal. All sorts of bummed out and discouraged. And then telling the ladies to leave. And then needs to talk to MVP one-on-one. And then he just hit the nail on the head saying, Kofi was right. I did get soft. I did. I lost to Xavier Woods of all people. It's time to get back to business. And Bobby cut a promo saying that. This is probably one of Bobby Lashley's better promos. But basically saying he needs to get back to his roots, go back to just pure anger and aggression, just looking to destroy. Not looking to flaunt, not looking to, prance around and praise on how great he is. No, he wants time to stop talking about on how great you are and time to go back to basics and say, I am this bad because I can and will rip your head off and shit down your neck. Now hold still while I do that. So yeah. That's on how the show ended. So, for a go-home Raw, for a pay-per-view, But as the farewell Raw to the ThunderDome, I still kind of say because we got so many fucking Raw lots. But that's it for this week's show, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back for some of the other episodes. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also, I'm on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you look for me on my Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash, make sure you let me know you found me on there on here. Or on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. I think I got a huge one going. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, and all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributors to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, don't forget to follow these cool-ass guys right on Twitter. Kenny Killer DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants, and Doves in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.